Playing electric guitar is all about attitude and showmanship. So here's a couple of fun techniques that you can try. The downward slide is one of my favorite things to do, and it pops up all the time in hit songs. All that's happening here is that you're picking a spot somewhere near the 12th fret of the guitar, or even a little higher, depending on how long you want your slide to go for. You're going to hit the string and immediately start sliding down, keeping firm contact on the string so that you can hear all the notes, but doing it fast. When I do this, I actually like to come in from an upstroke because I get all of those muted notes on the higher strings. So you get a little rake before you hit the actual string. I think makes it sound a little meaner. To make sure that you're doing that right, you'll need to cover all the strings with your hand before you start the slide. Or you can just do it with a simple down on the top string. When you get all the way to the end, if you can very quickly play an E power chord, you can get a nice final sound to the slide. Sliding in general is such a cool looking trick because you can span the width of the neck. The one thing you can do is to start incorporating tap slides into your play. Pick a fret, let's say the 12th fret on the G string, start alternating slides between your left and your right hand. For example, sliding up from the 12th fret with your left hand and then quickly replacing it with a tapped slide from your right hand in the same direction. You very quickly get a video game-like sound, and you can repeat that loop as many times as you can with careful attention to the timing. When you're looping it, don't pick the string, just use hammer-ons with both hands. You can also alternate directions. For example, going down with your left hand and then up with your right hand. Which is one of my favorite things to do because it sounds so fun. You can get a cool Pac-Man-like sound if you mute the strings directly over where a natural harmonic would be. For example, you can see my finger here over the 7th fret, but I'm leaving my finger touching the string so that it deadens the harmonics without pressing into the string. Pick scrape is an essential technique to learn. You take the tip or the side of your pick and scrape it across one of the strings on the way down. But for an added sound effect, what you can do is put the tip of your pick in between two different strings, like the E and the A, and actually let it hit the frets, those are the metal bars, on the way down. Depending on what string you use, which side of the pick you use, how hard you press, and whether or not you're actually hitting the frets, you'll get different sounds out of your pick scrape. Finally, this classic technique that's a little difficult to pull off, playing a riff but alternating between the bottom of the guitar and then putting your hand over the top of the guitar. Now this is purely to show off. There is no reason why you should actually have to do this, but if you think it's fun or cool, you could try it out. What I did in the intro was the 12th fret, the 10th fret, the 8th fret, and the 7th fret on the E string with a bunch of opens in between, where I played one fret and then 3 open strings, and in that time used it to bring my hand around. You'll have to keep your left hand pretty free and untethered so it doesn't get in its own way. And then you can work on building up speed. It also works for just one moment within a riff. If you know any cool techniques, put them in the comment section below and we can all try them out. If you guys like this lesson, you can join me on Patreon for free with the link in my profile, where you can vote on my weekly post and determine what my next TikTok video is going to be, as well as get exclusive music lesson content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.